KXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric, featuring Special K and Sam.
Okay, my friends, we asked the question, will we get even one phone call to fulfill the question, have you hooked up with your Uber or Lyft driver? And the call that we got is a hookup call, but it is not about the driver you would ever imagine.
Oh, really?
So we can still leave that open if that.
Yes.
This has happened because you know what happened. When Mom was taking calls. We didn't say
we had tickets for the weekend that we were giving
that
away, and
interfered.
people were calling for that.
I
still,
know it has
the lines
to
are
happen.
busy.
I mean, my brother is an Uber driver, and I hear the stories all the time.
So
the
if you
offers.
have done that, to your point, if you've done that, 833-390-KRBE.
My friend in Detroit got a bunch of calls, Roula, on it, so I'm just wondering maybe
Well,
that's
I'll
just how
leave the
Detroit
Claire's
is.
call first, Eric, because
Okay.
it's not the driver we think that we expect in the question. Hi, Claire. Welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
Hi.
Hey, Claire.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Likewise. Thank you.
Okay,
All
so
right. So you need to turn your radio down,
Are
or
you on
there's some
Bluetooth?
interference of some sort we hear.
Is that better?
yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. You got to take off the
Okay,
Bluetooth.
so the question we're asking is anybody listening right now who has hooked up with the driver of a rideshare, right? Uber, Lyft, whatever you're using. And you have hooked up with someone who was driving you, but tell us what was the reason they were driving you?
I got into a bad car accident, and I had to get the jaws of life used on me. I was small, so it was fine. It was just a bad accident. But, the EMT guy was super cute, so I got his number, and we hooked up a few days later.
Ambulance driver.
Now, is that some kind of violation? I know doctors aren't allowed to do that. Are paramedics allowed to
He's
do
like, I'm
that?
so glad you're alive. Are you okay? Also, can we go out?
It wasn't like he was doing it during.
Wait a second. So tell us how, Claire, the number exchange happened. A Jaws of Life type car accident is not something that you would think.
They're playing you out of a crumpled mess is what
let
they're
me
doing.
get my wits about me and ask this guy out because he's pretty cute, the guy who's saving me. How did the number exchange happen?
He actually slid the number to me.
Oh.
He was checking me out, vitals and all that good stuff.
Yeah, to make sure you're alive.
He had some
To make sure you're alive.
gorgeous eyes.
Mouth to mouth.
He had some gorgeous eyes. So he was like, here you go. If ever you need anything else, here's my number.
Home care.
Wow.
So what happens?
Good insurance.
He slips you the number.
Yeah, wait, did you go to the hospital straight away from that? Because, obviously the EMT drivers drop you off and they leave you there. So did you have to spend a couple days in the hospital?
No, just a few hours just to check me out.
Okay.
Wow, Jaws of Life and you were out in a couple hours? That's shocking.
I know. It was I'm a small person, so they T-boned me, and I was okay. The bag came out. I was okay. It's just, I couldn't get out the car by myself. So.
Were you thinking that this is meant to be? This could be my future husband. What a great story how we met.
This is serendipity.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like that.
So
Give me a romance or milkshake. How'd you meet?
Did
Okay,
you
so
have a hookup or anything?
yeah, because you said a couple days later you connected, right?
Yeah, it was just a hookup. I was young, dumb and naive, and just having fun, basically.
Oh, so you had fun with
Wait,
it.
Wait, was it a hookup
That'd be
because you got
hurt.
ghosted or you ghosted him or y'all mutually agreed, well, that was fun. Bye.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh,
It
okay.
was fun.
But we-
It was okay.
Yeah.
that's why.
You both knew what you were getting into.
But you're probably sore and a lot of pain.
Real beat
She
up.
said she was young. They just had fun.
was
and
young.
that
But
was
she
it.
had
but
been
2
in
days
a
later
car
you're in a wreck.
accident. Yeah.
You can't be at your best.
Yeah, we all know after being smashed up
He
in any
should have
kind
been
of
in
wreck.
his best.
I think it's like
It
he
doesn't matter
wasn't
about
in
her.
his.
at
Yeah.
his
He
best.
wasn't in
He
his
was the
best.
one in
Yeah.
the accident.
Nice
Yeah,
point.
good
Yeah.
for you,
He was
Claire.
He wasn't in the accident.
Yeah.
He should have been.
Yeah,
performing well.
exactly.
He wasn't the one that got right out of the car.
Yeah.
That is hilarious, Claire. Wow. Okay.
Now
Well,
I'm curious why you're so bad sometimes.
Yeah.
thanks
Maybe
for
that-
sharing your story. Not the kind of driver we expected you to hook up with, but now we know it happens everywhere. For those just tuning
There you
in,
go.
Claire was T-boned in a car accident. She'd be pried out of the car with the jaws of life.
She was boned.
The EMT that checked her vitals slipped him her number. They hooked up a few days later, and that was it. That was it. No closure needed. Nothing else from the Roula and Ryan
Oh
show.
my God.
Thanks, Claire. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Happy
You as
Monday.
Now,
Bye.
see, I think that trumps Uber.
I mean, we still have
What,
a chance to
paramedic?
hear a story of
Yeah,
somebody who's hooked
paramedic.
up with an
Yeah.
Uber. But yeah, that's almost like too good. You can't.
I
top
appreciate
that.
her calling in and telling that.
Yeah.
I just appreciate that. That's all I have to say.
But when you're
That
an
just
Uber
made me
driver,
laugh.
they know at certain shifts that they're more likely to be hit on. For instance, I was mentioning when we started this, my brother Doug is an Uber driver. He just loves driving, so he quit his job and just decided to do this. He loves doing it.
Does he have a specific shift every day? Is he the 8 to 5 guy?
He makes his own hours, but he has told me that on occasion when he decides, he can't sleep and he wants to work at night, he'll work at night. And when the club's let out, he's like, I have absolutely, he told me I've absolutely been offered certain things for my services.
Well, especially
and he's turned it down, obviously, all the time.
Yeah,
But,
I'd be too afraid.
Yeah,
you
no
would
way.
think
There's no way.
that.
You can't take
If it was like
advantage
the
of a drunk
afternoon,
person.
maybe, and they were sober.
Yeah.
and they wanted
But
to-
he's like all the time. Girls would be drunk. They'd get in the car and they'd say, hey, get me here and here and here.
Does your brother invest in blue bags, Ryan, like I've told many
yeah.
Uber drivers?
Oh, yeah.
Because
No,
if
no,
you're
no.
working the
Yeah.
post-club shift, you need barf bags in your car.
People throw up in the car all the time. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And I figured the
awful.
science behind that, by the way. You're really like high on life, and you might be dancing or whatever, and your body, like the blood flow of your
Right.
body is going. And once you sit in the car and you settle down, then it all settles in. You're like,
Oh, yeah,
God.
the room starts spinning.
I need
when you
the
get
window
that
open.
spin-
I need some air.
You're breathing.
The
Yeah.
spins are the worst because then all of a sudden you start feeling that wet feeling in the back of your throat and like, oh God, pull over.
That's going to happen a lot today.
Oh,
Yes,
St. Patrick's
St.
Day.
Patrick's Day.
Or
For
this
sure.
past weekend.
Oh, for
My
sure.
husband's actually awake right now, and I'm shocked.
Is he going to
For
work
those
today?
that missed it,
How late?
Sam's husband got drunk last night with his brother who's visiting her out of town. She had to go to a bar and pick up a phone.
Is he still on the
In
floor?
my pajamas. No, I moved him to the bed.
Okay, that's
But,
You just dragged him.
Wait,
yeah.
you couldn't make it to the bed? Or
He
you gotta
fell
spin?
asleep on the floor?
They both were on the floor.
Oh.
His brother and him.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, what are y'all doing?
Were
I
they
was like, I don't
snuggling?
know. No. I think they wanted to, but I was like, okay, y'all need to go into separate rooms.
And listen, now, Sam, you have, I don't know if it's your first time having this kind of story, but it's really never fun to be the sober one that has to take care of the sloppy ones, right? I mean, I'm sure everybody has had that
Right.
time where you just weren't drinking and your friends were. But especially in
know that
our
thing.
world
That
where we have to
sounds
wake up so early.
Those aren't good
Kevin.
friends of mine.
No.
Come on, Eric. You've never in your whole life of having alcohol with friends, you weren't the one that was drunk and you had to take care of the sloppy drunks
Nope.
that had too much. You were always the sloppy drunk?
No,
That's what I was
with me?
thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Is it a girl thing?
Why would I go out then? That does not sound fun.
What are you talking about? Kevin, you've never been the one that had to take care of the sloppy drunks.
When I was
Uber.
when I was in the Corps Cadets at Texas A&M, we had to do shifts on the ship. So there were certain days we had to stay sober, or you get big
I
trouble.
can't even imagine.
Yeah.
You're on
But
moving
so-
waves. And
College guys are next level ridiculous
Yep.
when they get tipsy like that. And you don't realize it unless you're the one who's not. And then you're
Yeah.
like, dang, y'all are a mess. Was this me last week?
Like cops on like 6th Street in Austin.
Oh, I can't even
Imagine the crap they have
how
to see
annoying that'd
every,
be.
or like spring break right now.
they've seen it all.
Yeah.
They've heard it
Padre
all.
Island, so many people I know, kids are going there.
Mine was
Where? Oh,
fun last
Padre.
night.
Padre, yeah.
Of taking care of them. Mine was fun last night because I never get to see them like that. Like,
Yeah, that's fun
Mark
'cause they're
is
brothers.
never like that ever. Yeah, and with his brother
And
in
once
town,
you're
it
an
was
adult,
so
once
much
you're in your
fun.
30s, it doesn't happen a lot. So it's kind of
No,
probably funny that the
absolutely
two
not.
brothers
Your
got to
bounce
like hang
back.
out today.
What was
You
his
hit your
poison?
30s. Ooh.
Oh my God, they drank everything. The one place we went to, they had 3 margaritas just to start, and then we went to
that a
another
song?
place. They
One
had
margarita?
espresso martinis, and then we went to a brewery. I think they had 2 beers there, and then I went and took them to another brewery.
Where was the food involved so you can
There
hold
was-
on? That was alcohol.
Yeah, there was.
So
a
wait,
little
let me
bit
do
of food.
the math here. So 3 margaritas,
Yes.
2 espresso shots.
Well, one espresso
martinis.
martini.
Okay, and
Bryson
then they
gives
go to
the
the
calorie
brewery
count.
and have a couple
2
of beers.
and then I dropped
sure you
them
had a
home.
bourbon
because
in
I
there.
Another
was-
one.
Oh, they had food, but like
There's some bourbon.
You got to break that up some Taco Bell in a minute.
I don't know if they had bourbon.
Usually
He had
you-
bourbon the other night, like at home.
And you have to drink water in between.
But I was like, yeah.
Well, you're
water.
supposed
You're
to.
supposed to.
Yeah.
That's
One
That's
glass
the
of water
key,
for
though.
every
I
drink.
gave him water before he went to bed.
Well, it is St. Patrick's Day today, and I know Monday is not the day that you typically would choose to, rage out and have so much fun.
No.
I did see a restaurant, though, yesterday that says closed Tuesdays. I thought that was so odd that Tuesday's the day they close, so those people are probably raging out
that's
because
fun. Yeah,
they're
lucky
closed
them.
tomorrow. There's a place in Galveston that's closed on Tuesdays.
Monday.
It says
who's gonna
closed Tuesday.
really party like at lunchtime. Somebody's going to come in. Come on, guys!
Let's go, green beer, let's go.
Some green beer and some. What else would you eat?
You'd have leprechaun
beef and
lemonade
hash
at
or-
Raising Cane's.
Oh,
You
yeah.
will have potatoes. You have corned beef
That
hash.
sounds
You'll
awful.
I
have
feel like
Irish soda bread.
pretzels to absorb all this
Is
stuff.
cabbage, is that a thing too?
Yes,
Cabbage stew or something?
I love
I ate a
cabbage.
stew.
Yeah, my mom makes
Irish
cabbage.
stew. So
Cabbage
it
with
is St.
ham,
Patrick's Day. We'll go
sausage.
over some of the things that most
And we
people
got-
in different states are looking to eat
We
and
got to play our
drink
video.
today.
Or audio.
And of course,
yeah.
Audio.
we're not going to do How'd You Catch Your Cheater. We're going to change it to How'd You Catch Your Leprechaun. You'll see what we mean next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
From the Bell Furniture Unbeatable Prices Traffic Desk, 288 South Freeway northbound at Reed Road, a stalled car was just towed away. There's still a 20-minute backup from the South Sam Houston Tollway. 290 Northwest Freeway eastbound at Fairbanks North Houston. You've got a
Sweet.
Today, Junior.
Hi, Hunter. We were so immersed in our conversation behind the show. I didn't realize the song was finishing.
We're talking about Freaky Friday, the remake.
Oh, the remake.
Freakier Friday.
Freakier Friday.
Freakier Friday. And you crack me up because you're like, I'm an OG girl with it.
I am an OG girl.
But the OG is actually in the 60s. It was a Disney movie that came out in the 60s.
Oh, that's funny.
And
It was
then
called Freaky Friday?
The remake with
Jamie Lee Curtis and
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan. That was the remake.
That's so funny.
Oh, I
guess
keep
I'm
confusing
not
it with
OG,
the Disney.
OG then.
Who was
Okay,
the
wait.
original then?
Yeah, who's the original? No, the twins are. You Parent Trap.
I know
That's
Parent
not
Trap.
Not Parent Trap. Hold on.
No,
Because this is
Freaky
where the
Friday.
mom and the
Look it
daughter
up
switch
on
bodies.
Disney. I mean, the mom and daughter. That was an.
I feel like
think
the
a
one that made
60s
the mark,
movie.
Ryan, was the one that had Lindsay Lohan.
Right.
and
No, that
Jamie
wasn't
Lee
the first
Curtis.
Freaky Friday.
I know. I'm saying for most people, I feel like I don't know what you're.
Well, Hollywood does that every 10 years. They do all
Yeah,
the.
they
reboot
They
updated
it.
make something new, and that's
Yeah.
the
Like the
original.
one Matthew Perry and Zach Efron.
Oh, they've done that
Dudley
body
Moore,
switch.
Kirk Cameron.
It's
Oh, yeah,
called
they
18
had one
again.
in 1976, Freaky Friday with Jodie Foster and Barbara Harris.
I don't know
Never
who
heard of
that
it.
is. But
See, I've never even seen that
so it
repeats.
did come out in the 70s. I was wrong. Not the 60s. It was in the
I'll have to go to my
70s, and
Disney
then they
Plus and look
rebooted
that
it.
up and then say skip.
When did Lindsay's come out?
Lindsay Lohan's, I believe it came out in 2003.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
2003.
Well, today is St. Patrick's Day, friends, in case you forgot. Are you wearing green? Will you get pinched? Well, in today's world, you're not allowed to get pinched because you might get reported to HR.
Not
Good.
PC.
It's like,
Good. That makes
remember
me
when
feel
your
better.
birthdays, you get pinched too to grow an inch?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes.
When
Or you
get
got
pinched to grow-
punched or something.
Yeah, it's better. It's like happy birthday to you and
No,
a
I
pinch to grow an
remember
inch or something like that.
Yeah.
They
hit
give
for
you
every
swats
year. Oh,
and
is it
say
like a-
one to grow on.
Yeah, one to grow
I
one.
thought
I
it was
remember that.
pinch to grow an inch.
That sounds accurate. Or the punch buggies. The little
what?
Punch buggies just in general in the,
the
cars when you
Volkswagens.
see the
Oh.
cars.
Whenever you see one, you
Slug bug.
nail
Punch
'em.
buggy.
And then if you said the color, you get to nail them twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
We made the worst
hard.
rules.
We get a lot of bruises as kids.
Seriously. Ow.
We Americans are the originators of the idea that green makes you invisible to leprechauns, and that is why you need to wear green. You need to wear green or risk getting a pinch. A leprechaun may wind up pinching you if you're not wearing green, so people will pinch you to give you a reminder of
I'm
what
not
a
walking up
leprechaun
to
would do if
anybody
you
pinch
come
you.
across one and you're not wearing green. However, though, in some states, battery it is considered battery by the police.
Yeah.
So
Depends where
careful
you
on that.
pinch.
I'm so
Yeah, that's
mad. I
wild.
have a nice Irish shirt I bought last year at Walmart
Nice Irish
And you
shirt.
forgot
a
to
nice
wear it?
Walmart Irish shirt.
the day after, so it was like $4.
Yeah. I
was
And
gonna
left
say,
it at
mine
my
was
in-laws' house in Galveston. And so it's been sitting there, so now it'll be 2 years by the
Next
time I
year.
can wear it again.
Yeah.
That's funny. Now, you would think
Darn
that this is, obviously, this holiday is connected to lots of drinking. There's green beer and all kinds of stuff, but it is not the biggest drinking holiday of the year for us. What do y'all think is the biggest drinking holiday?
Super Bowl,
That should
4th
be
of July.
New Year's
Nope.
Eve.
I
You're
thought
wrong,
it was
you're wrong.
Thanksgiving.
Wrong.
Huh.
New Year's Eve, followed by Christmas,
Arbor
followed by
Day.
Thanksgiving,
Okay.
followed by Halloween. I'm kind of surprised that Christmas beats out Super Bowl. Because Christmas Day
But
drinking?
is Super Bowl technically a holiday?
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
gotta
not a
be,
holiday.
It's got to be Christmas
Oh.
You know what I
Day.
mean? Like, we
Right.
don't get off.
And
Where
You're right,
Christmas,
you're right,
you
you're
get
right.
off.
And everybody's,
Everybody
know,
should get off.
they'll celebrate somehow, even if you're not
Yeah.
Christian. Some people will
We'll
celebrate.
just celebrate
just
anyway.
to have a tree and
And yeah,
presents.
to your point, Sam, St. Patrick's Day is also not a real holiday.
Right, but we drink a
The
lot.
banks are open, school's in, unless you're on spring break this week, which a lot of school districts are. Last week they had it, and now this week other school districts are out. What are you
Wasn't there
saying?
something about Irish wristwatch? You can't try and say it 5 times or something.
Irish wristwatch.
So you couldn't do it
You gotta
once.
say it fast though.
Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
Irish
Irish-
wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch.
Sam, try it.
No.
Come on,
Wristwatch.
try it. Go on, Sam.
No.
So Irish
Go on.
wristwatch.
Here she goes.
Irish
I bet
wristwatch.
she can do it.
That's what I'm going to sound like,
Try
Rolla.
it.
By the
Irish
third one.
wristwatch.
Irish wish. Nope.
No.
Irish wrist watch.
Yeah, wristwatch.
Irish wrist watch.
Well, everyone should go out for their corned
Zoom in
beef
on
and
that.
cabbage. It's going to smell great across the
You're
city.
going to smell good tomorrow.
Corned beef and cabbage
was that thing?
leftovers in the microwave
That's
tomorrow.
what it was. Corned beef. Thank you. I was
Yeah.
like, my mom does cabbage with something, and I could not remember what it was. It's corned beef.
Corned beef
Mark
and
does not like
cabbage.
corned beef, but if anybody's in the mood and they want it really, really quick, they have it pre-made at Aldi.
Oh.
I know it sounds weird, and I know you're going to be like, ew, but it's in a bag, and it has a seasoning that you put on top. You can put it in like a baking pan that you can put water with it.
Okay.
And it is so
What part of
good
the
if
animal
you
is
like
that, or what is it?
I don't want to
Is it a
know.
It's
pig?
beef.
Is it a
I don't wanna
cow?
know.
It's corned beef, so we know it's cow.
So it's a cow.
Yeah.
Beef. And it's corned.
They,
It is
they just put it all together. They push
so
it together like
good.
a spam. thing?
No, it's not
No,
a
it's a
spam thing.
part
It's
of it,
it's
isn't
like
it?
a muscle part, I think.
So does it look like? I don't know.
I
What
don't
it looks
think
like.
I don't know.
I never really
I
looked
don't
at
know
it.
how the sausage is made, Eric. I just want to eat it.
It's a
I was
sausage
going to say,
beef.
maybe
That's what
I'll
I'm saying.
have to
That's
try
what
to
I'm
make
saying
it.
about not wanting to know it all. Just
Right. I
get
don't
it on
want
the
to
plate
know.
and tell me how to eat it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's like
Irish
ham.
immigrants
That for
living
us.
on New York City's Lower East Side substituted corned beef for their traditional dish of Irish bacon because it was cheaper, and that is how it became
Like
associated
brisket?
with
It's
St.
like
Patrick's
fatty.
Day.
It is kind of like brisket, but not as tender. It's a little bit harder to chew.
And
But with the right seasoning, it's really good.
yeah, and you could
Shout out to
you
Aldi.
could go
Love
green
them.
with just because it's green doesn't make it St. Patty's Day, but people have turned food green for the sake of this day.
Yeah.
In Illinois, your home state, Eric.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was Arizona. That's not your home state. Darn.
Yeah.
I thought it was
The
Illinois.
only thing we did green is the river.
Yes, you do.
Which is really cool.
Green spaghetti is very popular today in Arizona. Green eggs are very popular in
Yep,
Indiana.
green
Wasn't
eggs
that
and ham.
Dr. Seuss book?
It was, yeah.
How about green yogurt? I know Kevin likes that in the fridge.
Did you
down
put
the hall?
Yeah, as long as it's chunky.
It's like 2 days
Yes,
old.
only if it's
Ah,
expired by 3
gross.
weeks. Green deviled eggs are very popular in New Jersey. Pea soup is the thing to eat today in Maine. As far as desserts are, Shamrock Shakes. Remember we had the try
Do they
try
still
it
make
Wednesday
those?
Shamrock Shakes. We
You
just
don't-
brought them in here one
What
day
were
from
they?
McDonald's.
They
What
don't
was the
advertise
flavor?
like they used to.
It
No.
was McDonald's. It was just mint.
It was mint.
It was a mint
Yeah, it's mint.
flavored
It's all mint.
Gross.
milkshake.
Yeah, green smoothies are big in South Dakota. Shamrock Shakes, Illinois, Montana, and Hawaii. Let's see what else. Irish whiskey Shamrock Shakes in Louisiana because they're doing it right. Green mimosas in Nebraska and West Virginia. Green Jello shots in Georgia,
Oh,
Virginia, and
yeah.
Kentucky. And for Texas, baby,
What do we have?
turn every margarita the flavor of a holiday. It's an Irish margarita. You add Midori and OJ to your tequila with your.
Come on,
sweet
Kev,
and
try
sour.
that.
Oh, God, that's one of the worst
It's just a
liqueurs
little bit
out
of
there.
Midori. It's not supposed to be really for the melon flavor. You just
Okay.
do
Yeah,
it
but
for
I'm
the color.
sure. Yeah, but the color, I feel like you'd have to make that real, like a lot to make it real vibrant. Like
How
the
does it make
margaritas
that
the guys
vibrant?
had
Just drop some
yesterday.
food
I was
coloring
like,
in it.
I feel like your lips, like their lips were going to start turning green.
Their teeth are all
And their
green.
And what's
tongue.
happening to their bodily fluids
Yes,
today when they pee
like-
and go to the
yeah.
restroom? My
Right.
God.
What does
Everyone's
yellow and green
over
make?
Drinking all that.
Blue.
I said
Blue.
yellow and blue make green earlier, but I can remember the
That's
Ziploc
yellow.
commercial. Yellow and blue make
Make
green.
green.
That's how you know
Correct.
it's secure.
And here's a fun fact. I didn't know until I was an adult. I think I was probably on the air when I had the live revelation that the liqueur creme de menthe is an actual liquor. Like that is actual alcohol.
Oh, yeah, that was my mom's
Yeah.
drink.
And now when I was a child
Grasshoppers.
and being babysat by a restaurant, my little brother and I, he is 4 years younger than me, we would, we were unattended. We were just, the babysitter was the building. As long as my parents had us with them at work, we're good.
Uh-oh.
They're not really paying attention to what
Did you
we're
go back
doing.
to the behind and sneak that?
So over the years, I think even now, you get like a little mint or something with your bill and the little billfold, right? So after hours, when the restaurant's getting cleaned up and nobody's paying attention and we can kind of just be wherever because there's no customers, my brother and I, he would sit at the bar stool at the bar and I'd go behind the bar and we wanted to make milkshakes. And one time I thought, oh my God, wouldn't it be so good if we made mint milkshakes? So I took the Starlight mints that we give with the billfold and I put them in the blender with the homemade Bluebell vanilla that we served and I crushed it all up and then I found this green liquid behind the bar.
Oh, God.
And I would pour it in there, and it was awesome. And my little brother and I would drink and drink and drink these green grasshopper amazing
Where the kids at? They're
milkshakes.
asleep underneath the booth.
I swear to God, every weekend
their
we
minds.
would make green milkshakes, and nobody questioned us. Nobody probably even saw us doing it.
Right.
I'd be like, "Look at this awesome mint milkshakes I'm making." I had no idea we were drinking alcohol, and I don't remember being like wobbly from them or like off. I don't remember my brother falling off a bar stool or anything, but I definitely remember the greener I wanted it, the more creme de menthe I would throw in there with the Starlight mints.
When did
crushed
you
up in
figure
the
it
ice
out? Did
cream.
anyone catch you? Or you just,
I think I was live on the show when we were talking about creme de menthe. Maybe you were talking about your mom drinking it or something, and I was
And
like,
you
"That's
realized-
alcohol." I thought it
How
was
are
like
you
a
saying
food
that? It
coloring
sounds like
component.
it's not cream de mint. You're saying mint?
creme
It's
de
menthe.
menthe.
It's creme de menthe.
I used to call it
like menthol.
M-E-N-T-T-H-E
Okay.
is how it's spelled on the bottle.
I used to
Creme
call
de
it
menthe.
The mint, because it looked like a mint color.
Well, it is. I mean, it's green and it's minty and delicious, and I do love all things green and minty.
We're going to play the audio now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The
Not
leprechaun.
How You Caught Your Cheater. How You Caught a Leprechaun. This is classic audio from 2006 in Mobile, Alabama.
Crichton.
Something was spotted in a tree, and everyone thought, we're going to get rich now.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bring binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All you gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you see.
It's KRBE. The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
And it's time for Scoop, my friends, brought to you by Taquerias Arrandas. I want to take this moment to kind of put a little personal spotlight on us here on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric. You know, we started in 2003. It was the Roula and Ryan Show.
Yep.
Pretty much, me and Ryan were on the air, but you didn't know that Eric was part of our show. And then he just started getting incorporated on the mic more and more and more and more. Sometimes he'd like kind of sprinkle in. Sometimes he wouldn't sprinkle in.
We started in January. We brought you in April.
April 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Officially.
So, you know, you've pretty much heard our three voices for many years on the air here in Houston. Now, of course, now with our new contract, it's the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric. Yay, Eric!
For hopefully 5 years.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that we did that was a big community rally type of thing for the show, it was to put a spotlight on a family that I go to church with. It was before my time. There was a serial killer that was about to get released, and the people of Houston needed to know about it. The people of America needed to know about it, but nobody was talking about it. It was really crazy. It was this mandatory release law happening in Texas where if you were convicted of murdering somebody, for every day you served in prison, you would get 2 days for good behavior.
Oh.
So basically, you would get released way faster than the family of the victim thought you'd get released. And at the time, the Samander family, who goes to my church, their sister Elena had been murdered by Coral Eugene Watts. He was a serial killer. He was on the hook for killing probably over 80 women. Not all of them were proven, but you know when they dive deep about serial
80?
killers, over
And
80.
not just in Houston.
Texas and Michigan, and I don't know about the
Think
rest
of
of them.
all
But
the lives,
Good
all
Lord.
the families that were
Yeah.
decimated, just destroyed.
I still remember when they came to our studio that time.
yes, me too. So Joanna is the younger sister, Maria is the middle sister, then there's John is the brother. Elena was the oldest. She was killed by Coral Eugene Watts on February 7th of 1982. From that moment, that's when I learned that if you are the family of a murder victim, of course your whole life changes, but in such a different way you don't even realize. For the rest of your life, you are fighting the law to keep the murderer behind bars.
You think you have no time to really get closure
I mean, when can you ever relax?
until they're dead.
If you think the person that murdered your child or your husband or your wife or your whomever is going to be released back into the system, but especially if they are a serial killer.
Yeah.
So Harriet Samander is the mother of Elena. She was a wonderful human being, and she passed away on March the 8th. Over spring break was her funeral. She was 91 years of age. And the things that I really want to spotlight about Harriet Samander is, there's going to be a movie made about her. I'll tell you about that in a second. But Harriet Samander, because she had to live her life to fight for Elena's justice, she changed the laws. Like her entire mission in 1996, they did away with the
Getting the two good
the
the good behavior.
yes,
for
thank
2
you.
days.
The 2 days for one, the mandatory release. They got rid of that in 1996, but it was not retroactive for Coral Eugene Watts. He was about to get released. We had Joanna on the show. She works with Crime Stoppers and Indy Con. And I remember that's the first time I ever heard of that. And it was just like, can we just get letters to the parole board, guys? We need to get letters to the parole board. So our Roula and Ryan Show listeners, for being that baby of a show, they really showed up for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it for at least 5 other families after the Samanders.
Yeah.
When the families would come to us to say, this murder is about to get released, we need letters to go to the parole board. And the parole board always knew when we talked about it on the show.
Yep.
Because they would get inundated with letters from Houstonians saying, this person should not be released. Please do not put this person in my community, and all this stuff. So Harriet Samander passed away. She lived an amazing life. The amount of women that she saved because she fought so hard for Elena, that Coral Eugene Watts was about to get released. And then in Michigan, they turned over some piece of evidence where they retried him there and gave him a life sentence there and put him back in jail.
Oh, good.
See, the thing is that
and he ended up dying in prison
the
from
rate of
prostate cancer.
recidivism, the likelihood that they're going to commit these crimes again is extremely high.
Well, he said the day he was put in prison, he said, the day I get out, I'll do it again. He had a problem, obviously, and he had murdered so many girls. And so all of these victims' families looked up to Harriet like, thank God for you. You're the angel on earth who has spoken for our daughters. and our sisters and our wives who have been murdered by this man. There's a movie called The Empty Chair that's going to be released. It's a short. They're shopping it kind of like the way I am thinking about it, like it would be on Netflix, like an 8-episode
Like a lot of times
series.
you see 4 episodes. I've been seeing that a lot lately.
Yeah, what was that last thing I watched? It was like 3
shows.
episodes. So it's called The Empty Chair movie. Just go to theemptychairmovie.com. You can see the trailer for it. Robin Lively is playing Harriet Samander. And the whole family is cast. Of course, Coral Eugene Watson. It's the story about what happened after Elena was killed and the mission that Harriet went on. Because the empty chair at her kitchen table was a constant reminder that all was lost. I mean, Elena's chair was empty at the kitchen table. Wow. So Harriet was fighting not just for Elena, but for everybody's daughter who could be killed as a result of the mandatory release. Like I said, in 1996, they did away with mandatory release, but it was not retroactive for that serial
They did
killer.
away with the good behavior.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get the word out there because I was talking to the family over spring break and, at 91 years old, I mean, the one thing that really brought me joy, I hate it when one of my friends loses their mom or dad, but think of the joyous reunion in heaven with Elena, that Harriet fought for her for so long.
Now
And
they're
also
together.
for all the victims that were killed by Coral Eugene Watts and others that got to hug Harriet to say thank you so much for fighting for our families because she really did so much.
You
And-
think about all the people that she saved.
Yeah.
Because more than likely, one of these killers, once they're released on the street, they will do it again.
Yep. So if you go to the emptychairmovie.com, there is a full release on March 21st on Apple TV, Prime Video, and Google Play. You can pre-order it this week on Apple TV so you can see it. And hopefully it gets picked up for all the episodes because the first one is just the one that's been picked up. And it's the story of Harriet Samander. So memory eternal, Harriet Samander. You did such a wonderful thing. So much love to your family and
I was
your
going to
children.
mention that we did that a lot from 2003 till like 12, but we haven't done that in a long time. And then someone just said my father's murderer was just sentenced to 45 years and 20 is eligible. So you
For
guys
parole.
better be ready to rally with letters. So.
Means we got to stay.
So if you guys know somebody that's going through this right now and that murderer or that
Is about to be
Person.
going up for parole.
Reach out.
And when
Whatever-
you need letters to give them
whatever
in.
we can do to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The emptychairmovie.com. You can see it right there. And I hope it gets picked up for more episodes because John Samander, her son, Harriet's son, is one of the writers and producers of the film. And I think this would be a great
It'll be good
series.
therapy for him, too.
Especially
Cathartic,
as much
yeah.
people like to watch the true crime stuff.
Oh.
It's the name that people don't know. And I know we hate to make the murderer famous, but isn't it so crazy that was something that happened so close and nobody really knew this was happening?
Irvin, what was last week when we were gone? One of our things exploded. Was it the true crime video?
One of our videos?
Oh, yeah, the one about the Candyman killer.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Candyman.
Yeah,
That was
We do
a
true crime
lot
too,
of
okay.
people were interested in
It
that
wasn't
one.
Coral Eugene Watts. It was,
No,
a different Coral.
Yeah.
It like blew up.
Yeah, because we do True Crime Tuesday and
No
people
pun
call us
intended.
about how close they were connected to a crime.
Oops.
And the person called up about the Candyman killer in Houston. I didn't realize that was in Houston.
Yeah.
That is craziness. So hopefully it gets picked up for the full episodes that they've written for the emptychairmovie.com.
And
God bless you, Samander family.
Tomorrow, Rania.
Oh, yeah,
From
Rania
Crime
from Crime
Stoppers.
Stoppers will be here. And Andy Kahn, that's how I knew
7:20.
Andy Kahn's name from Crime
We
Stoppers
talked to him all
because
the
of the
time.
Samanders.
We talked to him.
First,
For years.
we had him on a lot before we met Rania.
Yeah.
Because Rania wasn't the CEO of Crime Stoppers when this had happened back in 2003.
Andy's still with him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Andy was you can go to Fox 26. They did a whole story on Harriet the day of her funeral on March 14, and just how important she was and how many women she saved to keep this killer off the streets. So God
and
bless
then
her.
we could do True Crime Tuesday as well tomorrow around this time.
You never know what kind of calls we're going to get.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
what's going down in H-Town?
104.1 KRBE.
We were talking about the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo earlier this morning. There's an article in Cron.com talking about the carnival. So the carnival is one of the event's main draws with over 80 rides, 38 games. Attendees are required to purchase carnival tickets to get on the rides. Now, they're priced at $1.25 each in order to participate in all but one, the Slingshot, which is a cash-only ride. That's that reverse bungee. I've done that before.
No thanks.
Woo, man.
I didn't realize the rides were that cheap. $1.25.
Well, that's
They
per
lowered
ticket.
the price
Per
this
ticket.
year versus
Oh,
last
per
year.
ticket.
Per
That's
You need
why
like
I was
6
like,
tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, I'm sorry, they lowered the number of tickets you need this
For
year's
certain
carnival
rides.
than last year's
That's why I
carnival.
was like $1.25 per
Is that the ride?
Yeah.
where They shoot you up. They have a camera there.
Yeah.
It gets your face, and you're like,
The
ah!
Slingshot,
Or
it's a reverse
your
bungee.
cleavage or something goes up. This explodes in your face.
Wait, the
recommend
French
wearing
one's different than that one.
rompers, not
They have an actual
dresses.
bungee at the rodeo, don't they? They're
They have
talking
two of
about
them.
something different.
This one's like you're like
The
an
orb.
orb
Yeah.
with two people, and then it shoots you straight up.
Yeah.
And then your whole body, all your skin
Sinks
goes
down.
Or goes, like, pops out.
I did it, and it kind of made me a little queasy when I was done.
They used to do the Superman one where they like.
Yeah, you lay down, you're holding onto it. They have that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell no.
But that one doesn't go high. That one's just in circles for kids at the kid
Oh, this one,
carnival.
no, they went all the way up. They pull you up by your feet. Not your feet, but that angle.
Oh, I don't know. Okay,
They
I haven't
drive
seen
away.
the adult carnival.
As far as the ticket price,
Looks
actually,
scary.
this year the rodeo more than doubled the cost per ticket. Last year, tickets, were 50 cents a piece, and now they're $1.25.
But it would be like 14 tickets to do this
they
ride.
decreased the number of tickets
Yeah.
required per attraction.
How much for the Journey shirts? T-shirts. That'd be funny. They should do that.
Those are $10 in the
With
parking
every
lot.
song on the back, and they should
like
cross out
45, 35, you think?
cross out every song that didn't play.
Oh, that's
Is that those three?
I don't think they put their set list on the shirt.
Don't they have a song when the lights go out? Or
When
something?
the lights go out
in the city.
That's a Journey song?
Yeah.
Ooh, I wanna be
Wouldn't that have been funny if that
Which
had
one
been
is
the
that?
song they were singing when
That's
the lights
called
did go
Lights.
out?
Yeah, like,
The song is called Lights.
that would have been fun.
Oh, my
What a
God.
bummer.
All right,
Okay.
that's what's going down in H-Town.
Coming up next, Sam has a question about. It's been a while since I do the glucose test because I'm not pregnant now, but Sam is pregnant, and there's
Yeah.
a test you have to take, and Sam wonders if they did it wrong.
I think they did it wrong, and I keep Googling it, and I keep getting two different answers. And I
You
text
said
like,
they gave you gravy or something.
they did not give me gravy.
Pepsi Crystal Gravy. So what
Popeye's
happened
gravy.
at Sam's appointment that she wonders did
I
they
need
do
to
this
redo
wrong?
it. Okay, so bad.
Were you
And,
at the doctor's office? You were at somewhere else. You were at Dr. Scholl's.
The guy just opened up his van and said he'd take my blood, and I was like, okay, I'll hop in.
I guess.
And then there was like a puppy there too, and I was like, okay,
I
sure.
have to go
I
now.
need a puppy. So was Sam in the
Did someone
wrong
just take
place
my
doing the
blood?
wrong test?
What?
We'll explain next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.